Hey guys, Buckskin Dave here. I'm just finishing up loading up some 4590, the 420 grain. This one has a copper gas, it's a gas check bullet because I use it both for smokeless powder and for black powder. I'm loading black powder now, and I've got this batch done, and I'm going to go ahead and do some brass. I've got this batch of brass done, and then I've got another batch there that I got to deprime, clean up, and all that. So stick around with me. Grab a cup of coffee. I got mine here, John Wayne cup, you know, and inside it says, talk low, talk slow, and don't talk too much. So we're not going to talk too much, we're going to load. So stick around. So a lot of guys will toss these in hot water and dish soap or whatever formula they've come up with, okay? A lot of times, now I've gotten a little bit behind. Usually, if I go out and shoot 10 rounds, I come in right away and I load my 10 rounds. So I keep my, and then I kind of work around in the box so that you have fresh loads, you know, coming in behind. But God, if I was to wash them in water and then have to wait for them to dry and all that, and yeah, I don't tumble them every time. A lot of times if I'm going to go to a competition or I'm going hunting, I will tumble them before I load them. But if I'm just shooting for practice or whatever, what I do a dry deal, okay? I've been relying on this. I use this as my lubricant for the sizing die, and I'll tell you what, it's a little bit expensive, but I really like this. It's very, very convenient. Anyway, so, and I mean, you spray it on there. What I do like about this stuff also is if you get some in the case, it will not affect the powder. It dries, it turns dry, you know. So I run these through here. I'm gonna run a couple and show you what happens here. Let's see. Let's go 2, 4, 6, 7. Let's go 10 of them here. So I get 10 of them. All right. What I do is I do them all. I'm gonna do 10 just so for the purpose of this video. So now that's resized them. That's popped the primer out and all that. So then what I do is I get them, and on the corner of this table, see this dust here? That's from the last ones I did. When you resize them, they kind of break some of that powder up. Some of it will fall out. Now these are really nice and clean because I've been shooting 3F through them, and they really have been burning really, really clean. Then, if you have one of these, man, you ought to use it because it sure goes fast. I like to clean my primer pocket out. With black powder, you very rarely have brass push its way back into the pocket like you do with smokeless pressures. But this will clean it out. And I have two things on here. I have the one where it'll actually cut, and usually it'll clean it out, and that's it. And then I got a wire brush here that's kind of a tight one. And I'll run that in there, and that's pretty clean. Again, clean it up. Run this in there and hold it in there for a minute. Now, these also have, well, if these were stretched, then I could put it in here, see, and it would trim it down to length, and then it would have a flat edge on it, you know, from being trimmed. And then it has the camphor deal here where you can camfer. This one's a little hard to do because it's a, but you can camfer it a little bit. These, I don't need to camfer because they don't need to be shortened. They're already right size. So, all right. So while you're sucking on your coffee there, I'll go ahead and finish up this batch and get them sized and cleaned. So that, I mean, when you look in there, that brass, this is a brass brush, and when you look in there, I mean, it's cleaned it down to the brass and it's done it dry. There's going to come a time when you're going to have to wash them probably. But for me to shoot them 10 rounds and then reload them real quick, I don't have to wait for them to dry. I can clean them like this. Anyway, let me finish this up while you have a cup of coffee. It's time to, now that they're cleaned, it's time to prime them. There's several ways to do it, okay? I'm using this Lee priming tool, and I don't shoot competition. So as far as I'm concerned, the Lee is faster, and it'll get the job done. And for what I'm shooting, it's not going to affect my accuracy. If I'm doing real precision work, I use one of these because this has a spring apparatus in it that will give you equal pressure from of seating of the primer from shot to shot. And like I say, for what I'm doing, I don't believe it's going to make much difference. So I'll just use this one, and it's pretty quick, and this one's kind of getting old, so it doesn't really work real well. So before any of you, I know there's some of you, I can hear you out there. You're typing in the comments about the way I clean my brass before I load it, you know. Before you even bother with it, I don't really give a shit, okay, how you do your stuff. Nobody does any of this stuff the same way, how I do it. If it's not the way you should do it for competition, 1,000-yard shoots, okay, maybe it isn't, all right? I don't care, I don't do that. So, I do this stuff the way I do it. Been doing it since the 80s. I do what works for me. And so, anybody that does it differently, I would definitely welcome your opinion on how you do it, okay? But, if you're going to change my mind, or you think you're going to come up with some kind of a point or whatever with me, I doubt it, okay? Wife's been trying to do that for a long time. Anyway, so I'm going to get these primed up, and then we'll go ahead and charge them and load them up, and maybe we'll shoot a little. So, maybe we're going to shoot a little. So. I did that pretty, see, if you have one of these, that went pretty quick. You didn't even finish your coffee, did you? Okay, see you in a bit. So this is one of those scales that'll dispense your charge for you. Oops, I'm a little high. I'm putting in my charge by weight and not by volume. And what I found is it's not that much off. If I remember correctly, I don't remember exactly, so don't quote me on it, but I believe 75 grains by weight is like 77 grains volume, and this isn't going to be that accurate, so you have to, or it's better, I guess you don't have to, but it's better if you dump down a 24-inch drop tube. It'll help put all those granules together so that, and the other thing about weight is, what you want is, you want the same amount of volume in here. Now these are 75 grains, even though it's a 45-90, okay, with this bullet, I get my 1/16 of an inch of compaction. I've got this set up so once you get them sized, and even before you prime them, if you want to, these are primed. Normally, like with the 50, I don't have a shell holder for my Lee loader or this, so I just expand the mouth, okay, And then I have a place for a primer here, and then I just prime them here. But because I did them on the lee, they just need to be opened up. What happens is you want that to open up, or at least I like it, to where this will fit, you know, down past the gas check or the first grease lube. Then you don't ever, I've crunched so many cases because I didn't do that properly. And these cases just cost too much to be crunching them. So make sure you put a good opening on there. But I don't want to go so far that it flares it, like a flaring tool would do for pipe. So I could put this on here, but I have my 50 die in there. So I have just been using this to seat my bullets. Plus I have this all set up for this bullet, so it'll seat it right where I want it. Set it right here. And then all I do, the other thing that I do is after I wipe off the, let's put you over here. So after I wipe off the lube, I like to test every one in the gun it's going to be shot in, so it falls right in. And by the way, I've been shooting this a little bit. This is the mini gammer we made, if you've been following. This one with this 75 grains of 3F, and it's the Graf & Sons is what I've been using on this one. Man, it shoots really, really well. I was shooting it at about 50 yards, and you know, I got that 5-inch, oh, this thing. I got this Schutzen target, and I was keeping them kind of in here, you know. And I was shooting offhand, so I mean, I'm doing everything offhand now, because that's the only way you get better at offhand. And I thought, God, is this rifle going to be another one that's hard to group? So I thought, well, let's see if it's my eyes or the rifle. So I scooted up to about 15 yards, and I fired 3 shots, and the target's still out there on. The first one was right in the 25, and the second one and the third one were right around it. So then I thought, well, let's try that again. And I fired 3 more shots into the target, and by the time I got done firing 15 shots, they were all like right here. Now, given it's only 15 yards, okay? 15 yards and offhand. But I think the rifle shoots better than I do. And out at a further range, if I get a little bit better, you know, at holding the rifle, or if I was resting, I bet you this thing would be a real accurate shooter. I don't remember what it was, but I made this barrel very short, okay? I think this one's 27 inches. And I made it short on purpose. I wanted a shorter rifle, kind of a handier rifle. And when we tested this rifle, we tested it with 500 grain. 520 grains actually with the lead mix. And it lost a little velocity because of the shorter barrel, but not enough to make a difference for hunting. You gotta remember, I'm not one of them. I mean, I like to go shoot those long range things, you know, but that's not my game. My game is hunting with these old rifles. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and charge up the rest of these, and go ahead and finish your coffee, and I'll be done with it in a minute. Well, anyway, I ran out of bullets, which I knew that. I was kind of thinking it was going to be close. I think I had 15 empty pieces of brass, so got to do some more cast. I actually am set up to do cast in size of 50s, so I'll probably do a couple of hundred of those first. Then I'll change everything over and do some of these 45s. But we had a morning of loading, so we might as well reward ourselves and see how we did. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot at that orange plate out there and see how this goes. Well, it hit it. Geez, it looks like it hit just a little high where I aimed. Try another. Kind of went the same place, didn't it? Well, it's putting a big splatter on there. So I'm going to shoot one more at it, and then we'll go take a look. Oh, what I can do with the 100-yard gone. Knocked her over. It's going to be... I'm going to run down and see what's going on. I'll put that back up. I don't know if the sights are... I don't know where it's going to get hit at 100 yards. I think once I figure it out, it'll probably hit with no problem accurately, but I don't know where it's going to go. So I'm just going to aim right on and see what it does. It's a little high at 25 yards or 30 yards, whatever we were shooting here. So I'm going to just try right in the center and see what it happens. Huh. I don't know where it went. Problem right now is the ground up there is all still frozen, so it's really hard to see where anything went. I'm going to assume it went low and see what happens if we... Holy shoot, what's going on here? Huh. Okay. Try one more. Shooting low. So, okay, so I raised it up a click. I'm going to try one more and see if that does anything, and if it don't, I'm going to put it on paper first. I don't want to lose too much lead. It's wasting my time. I'll give her a try. One last try, just because I feel like shooting. Now, without the smoke, I can't see where it's going, so time to put a sheet of cardboard out there. Anyway, that's all I got this time for you. This weather's been snow one day, rain the next day, cold, then the sun, then snow, then the sun. I had it explained to me by a friend of mine. He says it's called March. So anyway, get out and do some shooting. Till next time, I'm Buckskin Dave. Have a great day. Stay safe out there. I'll see you later. Bye.